informed that the Justice Department has charged 4 current and former Louisville Metro Police Department officers with federal crimes related to Ms. Taylor's death. Those alleged crimes include civil rights offenses, unlawful conspiracies, unconstitutional use of force, and obstruction offenses. The 4 defendants were charged through 2 separate indictments and 1 information. I'm going to begin today by discussing the civil rights offenses that stem from the falsification of a search warrant. We allege that these offenses resulted in Ms. Taylor's death. These charges focus on the conduct of the Louisville Metro Police Department's Place-Based Investigations Unit. In the first indictment filed today, we allege that in early 2020, that unit was investigating suspected drug trafficking in the West End of Louisville. On March 12, 2020, officers from that unit sought 5 search warrants they claimed were related to the suspected drug trafficking. 4 of those warrants targeted properties in the West End where that activity was allegedly occurring. A 5th search warrant was for Breonna Taylor's home, which was approximately 10 miles away from the West End. The federal charges announced today allege that members of the Place-Based Investigations Unit falsified the affidavit used to obtain the search warrant of Ms. Taylor's home, that this act violated federal civil rights laws, and that those violations resulted in Ms. Taylor's death. Specifically, we allege that Ms. Taylor's Fourth Amendment rights were violated when defendants Joshua Janes, Kyle Meany, and Kelly Goodlatte sought a warrant to search Ms. Taylor's home knowing that the officers lacked probable cause for the search. We allege that the defendants knew the affidavit in support of that warrant contained false and misleading information and that it omitted material information. Among other things, the affidavit falsely claimed that officers had verified that the target of the alleged drug trafficking operation had received packages at Ms. Taylor's address. In fact, defendants Janes and Goodlatte knew that was not true. We further allege that defendants Janes and Meany knew the search warrant would be carried out by armed LMPD officers and that conducting that search could create a dangerous situation for anyone who happened to be in Ms. Taylor's home. As outlined in the charging documents, the officers who ultimately carried out the search at Ms. Taylor's department were not involved in the drafting of the warrant and were unaware of the false and misleading statements it contained. When those officers executed the search warrant, Ms. Taylor was at home with another person who was in lawful possession of a handgun. When officers broke down the door to Ms. Taylor's apartment, that person, believing that intruders were breaking in, immediately fired 1 shot, hitting the first officer at the door. 2 officers immediately fired a total of 22 shots into the apartment. One of those shots hit Ms. Taylor in the chest and killed her. We allege that the defendants knew their actions in falsifying the affidavit could create a dangerous situation, and we allege these unlawful acts resulted in Ms. Taylor's death. The charges we announced today are allegations, and all defendants are presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. Breonna Taylor should be alive today.
Breonna Taylor! Say her name! Breonna Taylor!
So, as usual, I don't have a lot to say, but I got some stuff to say. Today's 874 days. So today, on day 874, y'all learning that what I've been seeing, let me fix that. What we've been seeing, and the rest of them back there, what we've been seeing on day 1, y'all learning what we've been seeing was the truth. That they shouldn't have been there and that Breonna didn't deserve that. Y'all learning that today that we not crazy.
We not crazy.
But what I got something to say. That I remember on one of the I don't even remember if it was the first year or the second year reunion, because every day's been March the 13th for me. Tamika reminded me that Breonna made a post that said, "Take me to a place that I can't even imagine."
Wow.
Breonna has taken us all to a place that we can't even imagine.
That's good.
Today's overdue, but it still hurts. It's some amazing people behind me, some just as amazing people in front of me. And I can't call out names to thank, but y'all know who y'all were. Mm-hmm. Y'all know what y'all did. And I will never forget any of it.
It's about Breonna and all the other Breonnas across America, the black women who have been denied justice throughout the history of this country when they have been abused, assaulted, murdered, raped, and disregarded. Well, because of Breonna Taylor, we can say this is a day that black women saw equal justice in the United States of America. That's right. She's looking down from heaven today. But the first thing I will say is thank God that Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron did not get the last word in regards to justice for Breonna Taylor. What happened today was profound because you have willful deprivation of Breonna Taylor's constitutional rights that led to her death. I mean, that is a profound statement. Officer James and Officer Mindley can face up to life in prison. And then Officer Hankerson, charged with violation of Breonna Taylor's constitutional rights, can face how long? Life in prison as well.